Hey, shalom, shalom. Y'all, Bashim Al Shah, Bashim Al Kakadash, Brakatah, brother. Brother Mashiach Razakah out there the Vegas branch of Service of Yahweh Yahweh Shah. Shalom, King. Get myself situated. All right. Shalom, 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 shalom. All right. All right, brother Gadal Bar Yahweh with Service of Yahweh Yahweh Shah branch out here in Wisconsin. Shalom, shalom. Slakia. For the MIA, not really a MIA because I still been putting up videos on my other channels. Um, but Esau, you done been working here like a slave, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shalom, shalom, like I'm on Yahweh Shem Al Shah, Shem Al Kakadash, Barakatah, Shemar Al Thon. To you, brother, Shemar Al Thon. All right, so as I said to you, brothers, yeah, I actually got some precepts. You know, I had them. It done took me about a week, man. To get that Genesis 49, man, it was so much meat in there. Even when I first came into the truth, that was one the breakdowns of it wasn't too easy to learn. So you know saying the blood brother Gabar Yahweh of GMS Hawaii and his camp, um he got a Asherite brother with him, and I think the other brother was a Judite brother from the Southern Kingdom for sure, or he could have been from the Northern Kingdom, just look like Judah. But yeah, they went into beautiful breakdowns, and I actually took notes. My notes aren't um exactly like his, but through the spirit, I'm gonna bring out other edifications, other edification, edifying um things I have written down, and I also got a little piece that I'm gonna start off first that I got from the beloved elder Malcolm. I got a couple of scriptures from the beloved elder Malcolm. I'm watching one of his videos, and it was talking about it's the spirit because it was going into the 12 tribes of Israel in general, talking about how people neglect the 12 tribe sign. You know, they neglect our people, man, from the southern to the northern kingdom, man. Right? So we're gonna get straight into it. And the first precept I'm gonna bring out is Acts 8 and 31. But first, I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Harakak. All praise to Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God, in the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the elder apostle, elder bishops of Great Millstone, Stilwell. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel this day. Shalom to the Akim out there on the highways of always pushing his work with true sincerity. Shalom to the very few sisters, the Aquawaf, who subscribe to the truth. And shalom to the speckled bird, which are you Israelite foreigners who made like the nation you're scattered into. Shalom, shalom. All right. So let's get straight to it. Acts. I think I said Acts 8 times. All right, because what manner of people always be in all holy conversation and godliness, seeing all this stuff around us gonna be burnt up and dissolved, man. What manner of people are we to be, man? Like, stop neglecting our people. You all black only Israelites. Stop neglecting the rest of our people, man. Stop that. Right? So let me get straight into it. All right, Acts 8, Slunky. Acts 8. And 31. All right. And he said, how can I, except some man should guide me? Right? So how can we learn and how can we grow spiritually except we have holy men guide us? Right? How can we learn and how can we grow within the truth, man? Except we have truthful holy men guiding us, man. Right? And he desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him. Right? All right. Let me keep going. The place of the scripture which he read was this. He was led as a sheep to the slaughter. Who was led as a sheep to the slaughter? Right? Yahweh Shai, man. Right? And like a lamb dumb before his shearer, so opened he not his mouth. Right? So the point is, who are we to go against prophecy, man? We just students from other holy men, and they students from other holy men, and those students are students of other holy men, man. It's a chain of command that's been going down for centuries, right? So you have to be taught. You have to learn from holy men, right? All right. All right, let's go Psalms 119. All right, Psalms 119. Let's start at verse 9. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereunto according to thy word, according to the word of who? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. Right? According to the truth, according to righteousness, according to holiness, right? Uprightness. Okay. Make sure I'm still going. All right. Let me keep going. Verse 10. Psalms 119 and 10. With my whole heart have I sought thee. Oh, let me not wander from thy commandments. So let us not wander from the way of the Lord. Let us not walk to another path, man. Let us stay within truth, man. Right? Verse 11. Thy word have I hid in mine heart. So we're supposed to hide the word of the Lord in our mind, in our love, man. Right? That I might not sin against thee, that we might not sin against our power, man. Right? Verse 12. Blessed art thou, O Lord Yahweh, teach me thy statutes. So again, holy men that was getting taught by other holy men got taught through the Spirit, right? The Lord put the Spirit on these men, right? And they was getting taught what? His words, his ordinances, his statutes, his judgments, right? To be what? To be holy people, to be holy men, holy daughters, right? Holy children, right? To be upright, right? To be exactly what we're supposed to be, right? priests, princesses, right? Kings, right? Having authority within this place, man. But we didn't want that, so we went into captivity, man. All right, which I'm going to some of that when I get into Genesis 49. So just bear with me, Bakasha. And Lord willing, this is edifying, right? On verse 13, with my lips have I declared all the judgments of thy mouth, right? Which that's what we do when we set up our altar and come out here to the hedges, us holy men. Lord willing, we are the elect men, right? We come out to the hedges and plead with Yahweh Shem Shah for forgiveness, and we are we're chasing after him, for better words. We're chasing after forgiveness. We're chasing after that salvation that he promised us, man. That immortality that he promised us. Excuse me, right? Verse 14, I have rejoiced in the way of thy testimonies as much as in all riches. I will meditate in thy precepts. I will meditate in thy precepts and have respect unto thy ways. So we gotta have respect unto Yahweh Shem Shah, man. You want truth, you want to grow spiritually, show the Lord some respect, man. Put some respect on his name, as I always say, man. Right? And through the centuries and stuff, man, definitely 2/3 have always been coming back and ain't lots of doing them. Hey, but this is the last time they're gonna be able to do them. This is the last time they're gonna be able to reject the truth that our people are so-called Negro, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and the speckled birds that's scattered everywhere, and we're scattered everywhere, man. I ain't just black, man. You know, with different shades of brown, man. We're like a speckled bird out here, man. Right? And until you Jakes understand that truth, man, you won't grow. You won't understand what the Lord got, what his movie is planning out to be, man. Right? When you see a so-called, you might think this so-called is an Edomite getting beamed up in a chariot, but that's an Israelite. And then what, you'll be confounded, heartbroken, confused, because you weren't abounding in thy precepts. You wasn't abounding with the Lord, man. You wasn't something with him, and he wasn't with you, right? So we gotta push truth, brothers. When we gotta stand firm for the truth, right? All right, so let me start it over. Verse 15. I will meditate in thy precepts and have respect unto thy ways. I will delight myself in thy statutes. I will not forget thy word. We don't supposed to forget this. We don't supposed to forget Yahweh Shem Shah, man. Right? We forget the Lord, man. He forget us. Right? So kind of Lord willing, let's get Revelation 1. Lord willing, this is all, gonna tie into something beautiful. Man. Revelation 1. And let's start at verse 1. I'm going to get a couple precepts. The revelation of Yahweh Shah Mashiach, which Yahweh gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must surely come to pass. Things that did not the Lord say that, which I'm gonna get to that later, which is gonna tie in the stick of Joseph should be in the hand of Ephraim, right? And our sticks shall be joined together, the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. That was prophecy, right? Are we not joined coming back together? To those of you that reject the truth, man, right? Because I just want to say that that's gonna be for later, though. All right. Things which must surely come to pass. He sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John the Revelator, who bear record of the word of Yahweh and of the testimony of Yahweh Shah Mashiach and of all things that he saw. And this is the point that I want to get. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. Hey, it's high time to awake out of sleep, man. Romans 13:11, man. It's high time for us to, for real, like, hey, we gotta be riding and dying for Yahweh Shem Shah, man. Ain't no time to slack, no slacking, right? So I wanted to get that. No slacking, and I got 2 more precepts, and then we're gonna get into this lesson, right? Or this edifying breakdown of Genesis 49, Lord willing. All right. So the Lord he reveals his secrets to his servants, the prophets, man. And his prophets have been revealing the secrets to us, man. They've been harping. The harpers have been harping, right? And it's, hey, Jake don't want to listen to that music, man. So I just want to get this because everything he that readeth, the secrets get revealed. So the elders that have learned from other holy elders, they read and they was blessed to get the secrets revealed to them as prophets, as messengers of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, man. Right. So let's get this Amos 3 and 7. Salakia. Book of Joel. Amos 3 and 7. Surely the Lord Yahweh would do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets, man. So the Lord always revealed his secrets unto the servants, the prophets, man. All right. Let's get Hebrews 12, if I'm not mistaken. All right, Hebrews 12 and 9. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we have gave them reverence, right? Meaning respect, high honor, right? Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? So, hey, we gave our earthly fathers respect. How much more the heavenly Father, man, the Father of spirits, man? Shouldn't we not give him more respect than we gave our earthly fathers, right? Should not we be more on accord with him than our earthly parents, right? Because he has ordered to set up before we even thought of, man, right? So, I just want to say that, and Lord willing, what I'm saying, in your faith, you want to be preserved in your faith, man, with the truth, man. The Lord got you, man, right? If he set up holy men, respect holy men, right? If he set up the holy men and you know the truth, you see the truth, respect it, man. Because that's putting respect on Yahweh Shem Yahshua name, man. Because these holy men ain't, you'll be able to, through the spirits, says try the spirits whether they are Yahweh Shem Yahshua, right? And you'll be able to discern if you got the spirit, if these men are off, right? Or if things they've been saying ain't been coming true, right? So let's just get straight into it. Lord, I don't want to blabber, but this is all. We're gonna go straight to Genesis 49. We're gonna get straight into it. Talking about our people here, the Israelites, all 12 tribes. And we're gonna get straight into it. Lord willing, this is edifying. Man. All right. Let's get straight to it. This is Genesis 49. Genesis 49 and verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourself together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Right? And that's what's going on now too, as well, right? And are we not the sons of Jacob, the descendants of Jacob, to gather themselves together, right? The elect on this side, right? So I just want to say that. Verse 2. Gather yourselves together and hear ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. Right? So we are our forefathers are about to get blessed, their blessing, right? Right? Verse 3, Reuben, right? Which I got, let's get all the time. All right, Slanky, forgive me. I was thinking of something else. I was thinking of the table of nation signs, but ain't no reason for me to even get the table of nation signs. So I was just thinking of something else. The Lord must have wanted me to get that table of nation sign for some reason. Which are we are on top of that table of nation signs. It's 18 nations the Lord created, and Israel will be on top. So out of all the rest of the 17 nations, right? So it's holy people. So I'm just saying that for edification's sake. All right. That's what I gotta get. And I advise Solanke, this is just a holy rant real quick. I advise brothers to get that a sign made that got all 12 tribes, but their Hebrew names beside it as well. That's good edification. I'm actually gonna start working on that as soon as possible. That's what I was thinking about, Because I've been thinking about getting it made. So Salakia. All right, so Reuben, let's get straight to a Salakia. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity, and the excellency of power. Right? Because we know if you look at the history, Reuben, the Seminole Indians, for better words, Reuben, Salakia. Uh, Reuben, right? The Seminole Indians, a lot of them are down there in Florida, man, right? And if you read the history on Reuben, right, he was on his might. They was a warrior tribe, right? For better words, they were warriors, right? And if you get into, I got certain things like the first Seminole War happened on 17 through 1818, right? It says it was down in Florida against Spain. So it's when the Spaniards were trying to conquer the Northern Kingdom. When the Northern Kingdom came over here after the Assyrian captivity, right? So you get key people that had a big role in that were Edomites were Andrew Jackson and James Monroe, right? So then you got the second Seminole War. It started around December 28th, 1835 through 1842, right? All right, Solanke. So let me get let's go to Deuteronomy 33 real quick. Deuteronomy 33, Solanke. And let's start at verse uh 6, right? No, I'm thinking that's what I want. Yeah, kind of 6. Let Reuben live and not die, and let not his men be few. So they didn't, hey, with all these Seminole wars that was going on, and Reuben was whooping Esau, Edom ass, man. Right? They said Reuben was going ham, man. Right? So and that's why certain areas right now, Jake, that's down there in the area, they still wailing. You know, they still got that warrior spirit, and that's why it's a lot of violence and stuff going on in that area as well. If you look at the history, like around areas, let's say around if I'm mistaken, like I want to say Pensacola and stuff like that, areas from like where Kodak Black and them be at. Those areas got a lot of Northern Kingdom Seminole Indians there, and there's also a lot of so-called Levites down in that area as well, if I'm not mistaken, right? But I'm gonna do more diligent research. I'm gonna actually bring out a video on that, Lord willing. I remember to do that, because that'd be better for edification's sake. So Khan, right? So let's get Genesis 35. All right, Genesis 35. And let me find what I'm looking for. Slunky, no, I don't think it's 35 Slunky. All right. 35. Yeah, Con, I'm gonna get 35. I already brought out 30 on Deuteronomy 33, so Con. And it might be a little bit more on that Deuteronomy 33. Let me just make sure before I get into that. Because I'm not gonna rush anything. It's gonna be all for edification's sake. You know, brother shouldn't rush anything when you're making videos. Take a breath if you have to slow down. But let the Spirit of the Lord move, man, because edification is mandatory. All right, Con. So y'all Con. All right. Reuben, he was the firstborn, right? and so he got the blessing, right? But he also did some fucked up shit, man. Excuse my French, but he did some messed up things, man. Which I'm gonna get into this. I'm just what I'm about to get into. He laid with his one of his father's concubines, right? So let's just get into that. Let's start at verse this Genesis 35, and let's start at verse um this is right after Rachel died. So let's start at verse 20. And Jacob set up a pillar upon her grave, that is the pillar of Rachel's grave unto this day, right? Because they traveled to from Bethel, right? If I'm not mistaken, they were traveling they was journeying from Bethel, and they was I think they came from Ephrath, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. And it says, and it came to pass, Slakia, and Israel journeyed and spread his tent beyond the tower of Edar. Right. And it came to pass when Israel dwelt in that land that Reuben went and lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine. So one of his father's servants, his concubine, one of his father's woman, right? And Israel heard it. Now the sons of Jacob were 12, right? All right, so come on. All right, so it says, let's get to it, verse 23. The sons of Leah, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, and Simeon and Levi, and Judah and Issachar and Zebulun, right? So that's one little branch, right? All right, so time. Let's go back to Genesis 49. So Lord willing, that was edifying that to know who Reuben is. Reuben is a Seminole Indian because a lot of them, which were scattered everywhere, but a lot of Seminole Indians are down in the area of Florida, for better words, or in that area around that region. Because I don't want to be geographically correct. All right, so let's go back to Genesis 49. In verse 4, unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed, then defoulest thou it. He went up to my couch. So he went Simeon, Reuben wasn't gonna be no greater because he basically betrayed his father, for better words, right? All right, let's keep going. Verse 5. Simeon and Levi are brethren. But I just brought them out up in Genesis 35, right? The sons of Leah, right? Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitation, right? So instruments of cruelty are in the habitation of Simeon and Levi, right? So Simeon, which are the so-called Dominicans, right? The so-called Dominicans, Simeon and Levi are the so-called Haitians, right? All right, and it says instruments of cruelty. Most of these, a lot of our people were shipped in between back and forth around the four corners of the earth. But a lot of our people also was like Levi, like the Haitians, and also the Benjamites were also mixed up during the during all those the slave trades and stuff. With Simeon, they had Gad, Reuben, and if I'm not mistaken, Issachar as well. If I'm not mistaken, during the Hispaniola, like when they traveled to the Hispaniola, a lot of our people that was there got a lot of our people that were there. They when they went to took into slavery, Esau was like shipping them here. You'll probably have Judah or Benjamin and Levi in the area of the Caribbeans or the West Indies, for better words. Probably have Zebulon or the Simeon going getting shipped back to Spain or Africa or somewhere, or Asia or somewhere, right? Just for edification's sake, so brothers and sisters will know that, right? It says islands of Hispaniola, so-called Dominicans and Haitians the instruments of cruelty that's in their areas, right? If you get to the area, because they on the same island, man, right? They on the same area, if I'm not mistaken. And like the instruments that they use is witchcraft. That's the instruments of cruelty that they use in that area, man. It's witchcraft, right? Oh, Khan, brother, Khan. Hey, call all y'all about Shimon Shabbat Shem Kakadash, brother. It's Khan. Right, so as I was saying, the instruments of their cruelty is witchcraft. It was like their secret that they had, right? Which let me get into that. All right, just 49. Oh my soul, come not thou into their secret, and their secret is witchcraft, man. Voodoo and stuff, man. The so-called Haitians and the so-called Dominicans, man. Right? Unto their assembly, my honor be not thou united. For in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they dig down a wall. Right? So they're not united either, man. The so-called Dominicans and the Haitians on that area of the Dominican Republic and stuff, in the area of the in Hispaniola and the Caribbean, all the little area, they're divided, man. They on the same island, if I'm not mistaken, the same piece of land, and they hate each other, man. Right? So that's how they divide. They're not united, man. And that's part of prophecy, right? For knowing who Levi and Simeon is, man. Right? So Khan, brother. All right. So let's keep going. So like my lips are like super dry. Salakia Israel. All right. So they're on the same island and they hate each other, man. All right. And the instruments of cruelty and their secret is the witchcraft that they use, right? All right. Let's see. I think I got a precept also for them. The secret was witchery, right? They're not united. They hate each other. Let's get Genesis 34. Salakia. All right, let's get what they did, right? Let's get what they did when their sister was ravished by a filthy Hamite, right? Right? But it was during a time where these Hamites were converting over to follow after the ways of the Israelites, right? Right? So let's just get straight into it. Because Jacob, when they did this, Jacob was like, man, what the fuck? Like, man, are you fucking serious? Like, what the hell wrong with y'all? You know? Because Levi and Simeon, there was two teams in the pot, right? And they didn't play that bullshit, right? They didn't play shit because they were so self-willed, right? They felt like something needed to be done, which was, in that time, it was unrighteous for them doing that, which I'm about to get into that. All right, so let's just start from the top. Genesis 34. And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her. And his soul clave unto Dinah, Salakia, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel and spake kindly unto the damsel. And Shechem spake unto his father Hamor, saying, "Give me this damsel to wife," because he wanted an Israelite to wife. That filthy Hamite wanted an Israelite, right? But he raped her. He took her her purity, man, right? All right. And Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah, his daughter. Now his sons were with his cattle in the field, and Jacob held his peace until they were come. And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out unto Jacob to commune with him. The sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard it, and the men were grieved. and they were very rough. So they were pissed off, man. Her brothers were pissed the fuck off, right? As they should have been, right? Because the damn filthy ass Hamite lay with their sister, raped her, man. So you can imagine how infuriated the brothers were, right? But so only think about Simeon and Levi, though. Think about how wrathful they was thinking, man. Right? Okay, let's keep going. Because he had wrought folly in Israel in line with Jacob's daughter, right? He like kind of tried to pollute it, which thing ought not to be done, because the Lord told us not to be dealing with these heathens, right? For better words. And so there's a lot of stuff we supposed to be holy people. It's a lot of stuff, man. You know, you can read that all through the Torah, man. So much meat and so much milk in the Torah, it's just ridiculous, right? Okay, so let me keep going. Verse 8, Genesis 34 and verse 8. And Hamor communed with them, saying, the soul of my son Shechem longeth for your daughter. I pray you give her him to wife, and make ye marriages with us. So these Hamites want to make marriages with us, right? With our people. Right? But see, the thing is, we know if that type of intermingling would have been going on, the sons that come out of Dinah wouldn't have been Israelites. They would have been Hamites. Right? Total pollution, man. Right? So let me keep going. And make ye marriages with us, and give your daughters unto us. See, plural, daughters unto us, and take our daughters unto you. So they wanted to give their daughters to us, you know what I'm saying? And they wanted our daughters, right? Back in the Zaquan days. All right. So let's keep going. Verse 10, and ye shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you. Dwell and trade ye therein, and give you possessions therein. And Shechem said unto her father, and said unto her brethren, let me find grace in your eyes, and what ye shall say unto me, I will give. Ask me never so much dowry and gift, and I will give according as ye shall say unto me, but give me the damsel to wife. So after him raping her, he's like, man, he's still trying to offer up all this stuff. He was asking for forgiveness because he wanted her, you know, after doing all that bullshit, right? And the sons of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor, his father, deceitfully, and said, because he had defiled Dinah, the sister, and they said unto them, we cannot do this thing to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised, for that were a reproach unto us. So many, that's like disgusting. How dare y'all, basically. Hey, Judah was like, how the fuck dare you, mother? You know what I'm saying? They was mad, man. They was mad, right? So they was like, how dare y'all trying to make us unholy, for better words, right? We won't dare give you our sister, right? But in this, because they wasn't circumcised, right? But the thing was, they didn't know what their father was doing as well during that time, because their father was handling things, getting ready to do his thing and circumcise these certain one of these so-called Hamites to make them follow the ways of Yahweh Shem Shah. That's Solanke. All right. Verse 15. But in this will we consent unto you, if you will be as we be, that every male of you be circumcised. That will we give our daughters unto you, and we will take your daughters to us, and we will dwell with you, and will become one people. Right? But if you will not hearken unto us to be circumcised, then we will take our daughter, and we will be gone. And their words pleased Hamor and Shechem, Hamor's son. And the young man deferred not to do the thing, because he had delight in Jacob's daughter, and he was more honorable than all the house of his father. And Hamor and Shechem, his son, came unto the gate of their city and communed with the men of their city, saying, these men are peaceable with us, right? Therefore let them dwell in the land and trade therein. For the land, behold, it is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters for us for wives, and let us give them our daughters, right? So they had to follow the ways of Yahweh Shem Shah before this communion was even possible, and that's why they brought um our forefathers into that land with them, right? For better words, to that area, because there's going to be good trade, et cetera, et cetera. Long story short, right? It's going to be like a game for both, but long story short, all right. Only herein will the men consent unto us for to dwell with us to be one people, if every male among us be circumcised as they are circumcised. See, so shall not their cattle and their substance and every beast of theirs be ours. Only let us consent unto them, and they will dwell with us. See, and unto Hamor and unto Shechem, his son, hearken all that went out of the gate of his city, and every male was circumcised. All that went out of the gate of his city, right? And this is what the hell this is what we about to get into. This is what Levi and Simeon did, right? And it came to pass on the third day when they were sore, that two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dana's brethren, took each man his sword, came upon the city boldly and slew all the males that just got circumcised. And they slew Hamor and Shechem, his son, with the edge of the sword, and took Dana out of Shechem's house and went out. The sons of Jacob came upon the slain and spoiled the city because they had defiled their sister. So they destroyed the village. They destroyed the city, babe. Right? Because their sister was defiled, right? So they didn't look at what was getting ready to happen. They was looking at how they was prideful, self-willed, right? And this is a trait of Simeon and Levi, the so-called Dominicans and Haitians, man. A self-willed, prideful trait of right along with dealing with witchcraft, man. Right? Kind of got that I'm untouchable spirit, right? So let me keep going. Verse 28. They took their sheep and their oxen and their asses, the donkeys, and that which was in the city, and that which was in the field, and all their wealth and all their little ones, and their wives took they captives and spoiled even all that was in the house. And Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, ye have troubled me to make me to stink among Canaanites and the Perizzites, and I being few in number, they shall gather themselves together against me and slay me, and I shall be destroyed, I and my house. So he's like, man, bro, y'all fucked up, man. Now the Hamites finna click up against us, man, because we're few here, right? So Levi and Simeon did a bad beating, man, right? Because that self-willed, prideful, witchcrafty nature, for better words, right? And they said, should he deal with our sister as with an harlot, right? So Khan, all right? All right, so Khan, wanted to get that. So y'all know who Levi and Simeon are and why they are the way they are. Let's go to, let's see if I got something in Deuteronomy 33 to get where we about to shop. All right, I got something for Levi. All right, because Levi and Simeon were basically one, you know, it was similar if I'm not mistaken. I have to go back over the beloved Big Bro video to make sure that's what exactly what he said. But it was basically like one. So I'm gonna get the blessing of Levi, because I don't see Simeon in here. So I assume during the Zaquan days they was one. They was like one. There was no Simeon and Levi, right? And it will make sense because they dwell on the same area. They in the same area, so it will make sense. So let's get this blessing for on Levi. This verse on this Deuteronomy 33 and verse 8. Let me make sure I ain't got nothing 34. All right, Deuteronomy 33 and verse 8. And of Levi he said, let thy Thummim and thy Urim be with thy Holy One, whom thou didst prove at Massa or Massa, and with whom thou didst strive at the waters of Beribah. Who said to his father and to his mother, I have not seen him, neither did he acknowledge his brethren, nor knew his own children, but they have observed thy word and kept thy covenant. All right. They shall teach Jacob thy judgments and Israel thy law. They shall put incense before thee and hold burnt sacrifice upon thy altar. Bless Yahweh, bless Yahweh his substance, and accept the work of his hands. Smite through the loins of them that rise against him, and of them that hate him, that they rise not again. Okay. Want to get that? All right, Salaki, bear with me, Babakasha. All right, all right, Khan. All right, so let's go back to Genesis 49, and we are at verse 7. Cursed be their anger, right? So they're angry, right? Another trait of Levi Simeon, anger, right? Anger, another trait. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel, right? Cruel, they got instruments of cruelty within their area, right? I would depart them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. And as I was saying before, a lot of our people definitely when it gets into Benjamin, Levi, and Simeon, right? When I'm saying it gets into a couple more of the other northern kingdoms, but I have to read that Devastation of the Indies book again to make sure. Slunky. Ugh. Forgive me. So yeah, Con, I have to make sure. So you know, say that'd be for another time, another edifying lesson. But right, anger is a trait of Levi Simeon, right? And again, as I'm saying, a lot of our people during slave trades were shipped through the West Indies, man. They were shipped through that, right? Getting dropped off here and there, going back to Spain, going back to Africa, Asia, right? Because we were scattered, right? All right, this is verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Right? So, Judah, the so-called Negroes, so-called American blacks, right? Salaki. Hey, Shalom, King Yahweh, Shema Shabbat, Shema Kakadash, Brakatah. Small thumb. The blood brother, Fisher Turner Hunter, up there in San Diego, right? All right, and what I wanted to say was, Judah, the so-called Negroes, it said their hand, right? Let's get it again. Thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise, because Judah's going to be the top, going to be the head tribe, right? Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies, right? So in captivity, Judah, we right next to Esau Edom, right? In our captivity right now, you see, we're right under Esau Edom. We're behind enemy lines, man, right? And if you look at Judah, it's mainly the main one that buys from Esau Edom as well. They love Esau Edom merch. They love Moab merch, right? And they also deal with the curses, man, of us not having our own, man. But Judah love to advertise their oppressor. They advertise it more than any other tribe, for better words, right? Judah is directly underneath Esau. Judah broke it down the most in captivity, man. Right? They support Esau Edom society the most, man. For better words, right? And I also got this. I got a Hebrew word for hand. It's Hebrews 3:027 is yod, indicating power, right? Service, yield, work, and dominion. And we have no dominion. The so-called American blacks done tried and tried and tried. They have no dominion, man. They done tried over here up under Esau Edom, up under the hand of Esau Edom. What did Esau Edom do, man? Esau Edom destroy stuff, man. Wouldn't let them build Black Wall Street, right? All these things that Jake done tried to do, man. Right? Let's get a precept. Salakia. Jeremiah 2. That's what I'm looking for. Jeremiah 2 and verse 14. Because are we not slaves? Are we not servants? Are we not homeborn slaves? Right? And Judah really be acting like it on this side. Stockholm syndrome, cognitive dissonance, right? This is Jeremiah 2 and 14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? What's up? Hey, Jake, man, Jake bugged out, man. Slakia. Let's not forget that. Relight my sage. Give me 1 second, Buck Shop. All right. So Khan. So yeah, man, Israel basically we slaves, man. Right? And Judah, all Judah want to do is work and try to stunt under the hand of their oppressor, right? Right? The one Judah always support Esau Edom society. Be lined up to get Jordans, be lined up to get jabbed up, right? Be lined up to do anything this devil tell them to do, right? So we're slaves, man. We have no dominion. None of the tribes have dominion, man. But all the tribes love to act like they have some type of dominion on the side, man. Right? When we don't at all, man. Right? So our service is to this devil, man, because we're in captivity, man. But the righteous, the hopeful elect are have been pulled away from that and will be saved away from that, man. Right? So Khan, let's get Deuteronomy 33. Let's get something out of that. All right, Deuteronomy 33 and 7. And this is the blessing of Judah. And he said, hear Yahweh, the voice of Judah, and bring him unto his people. Let his hand be suffice. Let his hand be sufficient for him, and be thou a help to him from his enemies. Because man, we supposed to be Judah, as I said, Judah's supposed to be a head tribe, man. We supposed to rouse all the other tribes up, right? Let's go to back to Genesis 49. I wanted to get this. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whip. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up, man? And as you've been saying, man, the Lord is gonna rouse Judah up, man. You know what I'm saying? Because as I say, Judah is really like right under. They're the ones. If you notice, before the Northern Kingdom, before Gad and a couple of the other tribes in the Northern Kingdom were building up Esau Edom society, it was Judah. They came, and the Southern Kingdom came and started building on it. And Judah stayed. Judah was still around trying to build, and still to this day, you still see Judah with that Stockholm syndrome trying to build for Esau Edom as that service, as not having dominion, man. Right? Right? But the Lord's gonna rouse Judah up, because as you see, within captivity, right? I gotta get the next page. Right? Judah has had movements with civil rights era, 1964, right? That didn't help. And also the outlaw on discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, and on national origin. And it's 11 titles that was supposed to have been within that, man. Right? And you had the Black Power movies. They didn't help Judah, right? But Judah is right here hand in hand with Esau Edom, man. Right there behind enemy lines, man. Right? And there's a point I'm finna make. Right? It says, I got a couple of these titles down. There's a few titles that I've written down for the civil rights movement, right? And title 1 is for the voting right. But Judah has failed so far. We shouldn't be voting, man. And I'm about to get there. We shouldn't be voting for a non-Israelite. Shouldn't be wanting help from the oppressors, right? So let's get there. Let's go to Deuteronomy 17, if I'm not mistaken. Deuteronomy 17 and 15. I'm gonna start at verse 14. When thou art coming to the land which the Lord Yahweh thy power giveth thee, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. So we're supposed to have a leader, right? We're supposed to have a leader. Okay? Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord Yahweh, right, thy power shall choose, one from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. So Judah been trying. Civil rights movement, Black Power movement, gangs, right? Larry Hoover, Willie Lloyd, David Barksdale, right? Shorty Freeman, right? So you know, you got Raymond Washington, you know, Tookie Williams, them type of people. I have tried. Judites tried, right? With all these movements, man. But you're still behind enemy lines, man, and it never helped. Because why? Because you ain't had a lawyer set up over you, man. Right? That's right. That's why. That's why it didn't work. That's why nothing has Judah did worked on this side. And that's why the Lord's gonna rise Judah up, man. Because a lot of these things that happened during the 60s, the 50s, the 60s, 70s, right? With these movements that Judah tried to push and got destroyed, according to Deuteronomy 28, the curses that we've had to deal with, right? The Lord's gonna rise Judah up because of all these, as you see what's been going on in the last couple spans of years, the indiscriminate killings of Judah, right? Of the Israelites, right? So the Lord is going to use that as leverage over Esau Edom to rise Judah up, because Judah is the main one that buy Esau Edom products. Judah is the main one that loves Esau Edom merch, as I was saying, man, right? So guess who the Lord going to use to bring Esau Edom down as well? Judah, man. Who you think? Look who burnt down buildings and stuff, man. Judah. It was Judah that, after the shooting of George Floyd, it was Judah flipped up with probably all these other crazy probably nations and everything mixed up with Judah during that time. But it was Judites, man. You know, because Judah is a lion's whelp. Judah is wild like that, man. Right? So double edification's sake, that's one. Title 2, public accommodations. Right? Let's get on 1 Corinthians 4, man. Because our public accommodation is supposed to be for your whole body outside. Not because we want to be heard, we want to be seen, we want a voice. No, man. Let's get there to verse 1. 1 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 1. That a man so account of us as of the ministers of a Mashiach and stewards of the mysteries of Yahweh. Moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful, man. right? And following after trying to build like these heathens, not being faithful to Yahweh Shem Shah. And that's why Judah, to you so-called American blacks out there, that's why ain't nothing ever worked. MLK didn't work. Malcolm X didn't work. Black Power didn't work. None of this stuff has been working because we have not been setting up brethren of our own, man. And it's holy brethren at that, not no just random brethren, right? All right. So let me keep going on that. Okay, so Con, that's all I wanted on that time. So I got more. Title 4, and these are a few titles that I wanted to bring out to the spirit. Title 4 of the civil rights so-called movement, right? This desegregation of public education. But from what I've been seeing, that's still been going on, man. You still have things like, which I just learned it for edification sake, and this is through the spirit of me that the Lord want me to say this, but I just learned that I'm from Tennessee. My rib is from up this way. She's from around in Minnesota area, right? The academics is totally different. The things that they taught the kids in the plantation and school plantations up here were totally different than the academics down south. Because you know, down south, a lot of the slavery stuff still go on. A lot of you still have sundown areas, counties and stuff. So a lot of things are totally different. It's like more up here since I've been up here. A lot of it's still oppression. Oppression is oppression, regardless of where you go. But you can tell the difference. You can tell the difference on how tightly Esau got Judah down south compared to how tight Esau Edom got Gad up here, right? I mean, that's a spiritual talk if you understand that. So the educational systems are definitely different, right? The academics of with the way they teach. But down south, up here they learned a lot about the slavery. Down south, we didn't learn a lot about it. We only learned bits and pieces of what the teachers wanted us to know, dealing with these damn history books, man. U.S. history book or American history, man, right? And now they're taking things out of the plantation school systems, man. Certain things that happen in the slave trade that they don't want these so-called, how can I say it, GMO babies to learn, because they want to keep them further oppressed, especially Judah, right? But really all the tribes that's in America, that's in Babylon, right? So I just wanted to get that. Title 4. And really another thing I want to bring out, the Lord really gonna rouse Judah up in America when a famine hit as well, right? Because hey, I don't like to be hungry. You know what I'm saying? So Lord willing, I'm not part of that number, but in a sense I'm just giving information like, hey, if you're a so-called American black man, so-called Negro, hey, you see how ferocious Jake be over chicken? Jake be trying to kill over chicken. Jake be ready to fight over the last piece of chicken in the house, man. So you got to think about how the Lord's really about to orchestrate this thing, man. He's really about to do some power moves, man. And it's scary as hell, man. Like, I'm not sitting here saying it's not scary. It's about to be scary, man. Right? We ain't out here saying we're not scared. We're scared, man. We're out here fearing Yahweh Shema Shah, man, for a reason, man. Because he about to do some things just from the edification that I got from the big bro, man. Watching an hour-long video, it was just, hey, it really shocked me, man. You know? It's just like, man, how all this intertwined just from Genesis 49 all the way to the curses, man. Just intertwined about how our people are, man, and who we are, man. Right? It put me furthermore in depth, man. Because I was real big on Deuteronomy 28, man, but Genesis 49 is a must mandatory note, right? All right, so let's go back to Genesis 49, Salakia. All right, verse 10. The sceptre shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet until Shiloh come. And unto him shall be the gathering of the people be. And that's getting into Yahweh Shah, man. In the Old Testament, talking about Yahweh Shah, our deliverer, man. Right? He is the deliverer. He is the savior, man. Right? And I got the definition for sceptre, a staff or rod, authority, man. So Yahweh Shah is coming back with authority according to Matthew 24, right? According to, if I'm not mistaken, that's 2nd Ezra 2, if I'm not mistaken, right? Revelation 1, right? You know, Ooh, heavy, man, heavy. So let's get Hebrews 10 and 7, man. This is beautiful. The water, how about Shemal Shah? For let me be able to find that video. And I advise you brothers go find that video. It'll just say Genesis 49. I had to go down a few on the YouTube, but I got it saved so I can actually put the link up on my holy conversation, Lord willing, I remember to. Right, this Hebrews 10 and 7. Then said I, because a lot of people don't be like, oh, the Old Testament talk about the Savior, you know what I'm saying, all this extra stuff. But the truth is, it did, right? Salakia. All right, on Hebrews 10 and 7. Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of thee to do thy will, O Yahweh. Right? Hey, telling you, man. Hey, the Lord is undefeated, man. The Lord is gonna be always undefeated, man. He ain't got no ending to his undefeatedness. Right? So all right, let's get into Zebulon. Right? Let's get into Zebulon. All right. Like I said, I knew it's gonna be a long video, so just bear with me with Buckshot. Ain't no telling how long it's gonna be. But Lord willing, it's edifying. All right. Genesis 49 and verse 11. Binding his foal unto the vine, and then now Yahushua say he was the true vine, right? And his ass coat unto the choice vine. He washed his garment in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. His eyes should be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. And another word for milk is truth, man. So we got to take in, since your milk is babe, so we got to take in the truth as babes and grow up and to have a spiritual growth within this truth, right? So again, white with milk is truth. All right, so verse 13. Zebulon shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for a haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon, right? So Zebulon, the so-called Guatemalans, to Panamanians, right? Zebulon, the Guatemalans, the Panamanians, man. And if you get into the area that they're in, the Guatemalans, the Panamanians, you get into the Panama Canal, man, right? And that's where the ships through the sea route trade, they go through the Panama Canal. A lot of ships go in and out the area, right? All right, so and also you can read how Esau Edom did some deception, which I haven't watched the video, but the beloved brother, the big bro, did say for us brothers to watch the Panama deception, man. And it gets into how Esau treated our people, the Guatemalans and the Panamanians, man, and how Esau Edom basically has taken over. As I said before, we have no dominion. We're slaves. We have no dominion. A lot of things that Jake think they have, Esau Edom is over it, man. Right? So the Panama Canal, for better words, Esau Edom, man. Right? Oh, kind of that's beautiful to go with what my verse was bringing out earlier. Shalom, King Yahweh, Shemal Shabbat, Shemal Kakadash, Bakata, Shemar Thumb, brother. Right? The beloved brother, 70 Hawaii, Yahushua, Laban, Posh, Texas branch, got 1 Corinthians 15:24. Then cometh the end when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to Yahweh, even to the Father, Abunawah, right? When he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power, right? For he must reign. That's right. Till he have put all enemies under his feet. That's right, man. Period. Undefeated, man. Lord will always be undefeated, man. Throw out for that precept. That's beautiful. Right? Okay, we got let's talk about the Panama deception. Watch that video, brothers. That's beautiful. But let's get into that word for haven as I brought out. Right? It said Zebulon shall dwell at a haven of the sea. Right, at an area by the sea, right? So the word for haven in the Hebrew is Hebrews 2, 3, 4, 8. Salakia. Hawak, on coast of the sea is what it's getting into, the coast of the sea. So the Panama Canal is by the coast of the sea, and it has a canal to where ships come into and trade ports and seaports, right? For better words. It says seashore, seaside, ship, right? Well, that's another word, but I'm about to get into that as well because it says further in it. He shall be for a haven of ships, and I brought out what a haven is. It's by the ocean, it's by the sea, right? And haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon. And you get into the word for ship, it's Anayah, shipman, right? Shipman, Ananah is a ship, right? Right, and a canal. And you get to that word for canal, it means bring boats into land, man. Right? It means bring boats as for shipping and trade, bring them into the land, bring them through the Panama Canal. So a good way to know who Zebulon is, just think of the Panama Canal, man. Right? The Guatemala, the Panamanians, think about the Panama Canal, think about how the Panama Canal do a lot of sea trade, right? Yeah, Khan, Apostle Gabar, yeah, beautiful, yeah. And I'm actually gonna go watch that today, cause I need some more edification on what happened during that time. So that's beautiful. The water for that. All right, let's get Deuteronomy 33. Deuteronomy 33 and 18. And of Zebulon, he said, rejoice, Zebulon, in thy going out, and Issachar in thy tents. Right? All right, so Khan. And Lord willing, this is edifying. You know, that I keep saying. Lord willing, through the Spirit. I worked pretty hard trying to, put this together through the Spirit. So let's get Genesis 49. Let's go back. Verse 14. Issachar, Ashashakar, right? Is a strong ass, strong donkey, couching down between two burdens, right? So he's a strong donkey, and a donkey is a hard worker, right? If you see back in a lot of people still use donkeys to this day to till the land, man. Right along with oxen, man. Right? So it says, and the two burdens that he's between Issachar, the so-called, right? The so-called Mexicans, Issachar, the so-called Mexicans, the two burdens that they're between is North America and South America, man. Between two burdens, right? They became Issachar basically became a work tribute. Basically, when they came over to Esau, Edom took them and subjected them to being as a work tribute, as a work slaves, man. Because Esau or Edom be trying to find Issachar to do the most vigorous work for the lowest prices, and Issachar come over here to start a new life, man. So that they really either area that they go to, South America or North America, they gonna have burdens, man. They're gonna have to deal with bullshit, right? All right, so Khan. That's all I want from that one. Let me see if I got something to do around with 33. Give me 1 second. Okay, so Khan. All right, Khan. So let's go back to Genesis 49. Anything else I wanted to get from Khan? Genesis 49 and verse 15. And he saw that rest was good. Because Issachar like the rest for hours on that time after their hard work, and the land that it was plenteous, and bowed his shoulder to bear, and became a servant unto tribute, became a servant to Esau Edom for work, cheap labor, hard labor, cheap pay, man, right? All right, Sakan. All right, let's keep going. Genesis 49:16. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel, right? Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder in the path that biteth the horse heels, so that his rider shall fall backward. I have waited for thy salvation, O Yahweh, right? So Dan is amongst every tribe. And let's get that in Deuteronomy 33. Deuteronomy 33 and verse 22. And of Dan, he said, Dan is a lion's whelp. He shall leap for Bashan. So see, Dan was, he's mixed up, for better words. He's between all, he's mixed up with all the tribes, for better words. And that's if I'm not saying, that's what the big bro said as well, right? Similar to Judah. But it says Dan, he said, Dan is a lion's whelp. Judah is a lion's whelp. So, right, that's how you know Dan is mixed up, right? For better words. All right, let me keep going. Verse 18, Genesis 49:18. I have waited for thy salvation, O Yahweh. Gad, a truth shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last, man. And we seen what the Trail of Tears that happened with the North American Indian, right? All the treaties Esau Edom broke with Gad, right? Gad up on reservations right now where I'm at, man. A lot of Gadites out here, man. Right, a lot of them, right? And the Gadites are the so-called North American Indians, man. Right? Of the Northern Kingdom. Esau trampled Gad, man. They trampled on them treaties they made with Gad, right? Let's get Deuteronomy 33:20. And of Gad, he said, blessed be he that enlarged Gad. He dwelleth as a lion and teareth the arm with the crown of the head. And also I got edified, before this video, I got edified about the North American Indian having a war bonnet on. It made them, they was like a lion because they was warriors, and they had a big platform. The North American Indian stretched all the way into from, if I'm not mistaken, all the way almost down into South America, but basically all of North America, into Canada. So as a lion, he had Gad had a broad spectrum, man, right? A broad spectrum of land, right? Until Esau Edom came against him, right? For better words. And then again, Gad was also around a lot of other Northern Kingdom brothers and sisters as well, right? Because I did an edifying video probably a year or two ago, maybe, and I showed what was the difference in them. But our people looked similar. You had Gad that had the war bonnets on, but you also had Issachar that had the war bonnets on as well. And you can watch that in Apocalypto. That was Hispanics, right? They had the war bonnets and stuff on, the way they dressed. And then if you look at Gad dressed similar. So our people always had a style that looked similar to each other, man, right? But again, Gad had a broad spectrum of land, as a lion has a broad spectrum of land in the in this area, right? A male lion, right? And that they turned the arm with the crown of the head, and they got that war bonnet on their head, man. And it's like a crown. It's a war crown, in other words, right? And he provided the first part for himself, because there's in a portion of the lawgiver was he seated, and he came with the heads of the people. He executed the justice of the Lord Yahweh and his judgments with Israel. All right. Let's go back to Genesis 49. All right. We're going into Asher now. Genesis 49:20. Out of Asher his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. Right? Asher. All right, Asher is the so-called Colombians to the to Uruguayans, man. Right? The Asherites, man. down there in South America, man. Right down there in South America, our brothers and sisters down there in South America, the Guatemalans, right? Slovakia, Slovakia. The Colombians to Uruguayans. Slovakia. So the Colombians to Uruguayans, the Asherites down in South America, are our brothers and sisters, right? And it says, the, it says his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. Man, 'cause they were saying, it's a lot of delicious food. The brother was saying it's a lot of delicious foods down there in the area where the Asherites be down in Colombia and the Uruguayan area, right? They got a lot of delicacies like good food and stuff down in South America. But let's get that Hebrew word for dainties, man. It's Hebrews 4:5, 7, 4. Ma'adan or ma'adanah, right? From Hebrews 5:7 to 7, a delicacy or pleasure, delight, right? Then if you go to Brazil, it's like that's a whole nother. Brazil gonna have some. Brazil got its own little thing too. But the point of me, the Asherites in the area got a lot of food. They got a lot of delicacies that you and pleasures and delights that you can dwell amongst if you're in that area. And then when I'm thinking, the brother uh Gabar Yahweh, the GMS Hawaii, actually had an Azarite brother beside him, right? So let's get Deuteronomy 33:24. And of Asher, he said, let Asher be blessed with children. Let him be acceptable to his brethren, and let him dip his foot in oil. Right? And right along with that area, which I was about to get into, that is one of the biggest oil rigs around the area, right? In Brazil. And it's a big oil field called Tupa, right? And in the area where the Colombians and the Uruguayans, right, down in the Venezuela area, right? That's prophecy. They have an area where it's rich with resources, rich with delicacies and stuff, for better words, right? So if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the Argentinians, the Chileans I'm thinking about, but I'm about to bring out next. About where they're located at on the map was rides right along with prophecy, right? Okay. Verse 25. Thy shoes shall be iron and brass, and as thy days, so shall thy strength be. There you go, man. So let's go back to Genesis 49. Verse 21. Naphtali is a hind let loose. He giveth goodly words. Right? Naphtali, man. Naphtali. The so-called Argentinians and Chileans, man. The Chileans. The Argentinians and Chileans, man. Right? Down there in South America. Right? And I got a preset. I'm about to bring out a Deuteronomy 33 for them. On the map, right? Let's just get it. Deuteronomy 33 and 23. And of Naphtali, he said, "Oh Naphtali, satisfied with favor and full with the blessing of the Lord Yahweh, possess thou the west and the south." And that's prophecy, because when you look on the map of South America, if you look on the map, Chile, if I'm not mistaken, is on the west part, and Argentina, if I'm not mistaken, is one of them that's on the southern part. But if I'm not mistaken, I think I'm saying it right. You can check the corners as according to prophecy, and Naphtali, that's what Naphtali is, man. The Argentinians and Chileans, man, just like prophecy said, just like the Lord said they will be, man, as their blessing, right? So and then also you got GOCC talking about Polynesians are Israelites, but Polynesians are not Israelites, right? That's a false doctrine, right? The Polynesians originated out of Asia, man, right? And they might be Mongols or Edomites, and some people consider them something else, right? Some other race, but that's the main thing that people think they are, an Asiatic type Mongol tribe, right? Of people, or Edomite Asiatic tribe of people, for better words. And also I want to say, let me see if I got more. Let's get All right, Salaki. Uh, all right. All right, Salaki. All right, so Khan. So as I said, let him and I'm gonna let him dwell. Naphtali, the Argentinians, the Chileans that can dwell in the west and south, as I brought out, right? And also it says Asher also around the area, according to prophecy, Asher, the Asherites in that area around all the area in Chile, they have one of the top Asher has a big they're around a big oil rig, which I'm gonna get into. And the Chileans and the Argentinians are around the area that's like Chile has one of the top copper productions in the world. 29% of global copper production, and it's the world's second largest producer of lithium. 22% share of the world's production, and it says Chile is the number one producer of iodine, rhenium, and sodium and potassium nitrate. Right. So these it's down there in Argentina where our people are, the even the Asherites, the Naphtalites, right? Um, it's very rich in resources, and that's why you see Esau Edom giving them such hell trying to get in them areas, man. It's very rich in resources down there in South America, man. Right, and they ain't gonna tell you that, right? Uh, Also they got in the area of down there in which I'm gonna get into here in a minute. All right, Con, they got a big old oil rig as well. So, Con, this is what I wanted. Let's go back to Genesis 49 and verse 22. Joseph is a fruitful bough, even a faithful bough by a well, whose branches run over the wall. The archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him and hated him. Right? But his bow abided in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty power of Jacob. From thence is the shepherd the stone of Israel. Right? Slunky, bear with me. All right, let's get the blessing for Joseph. All right, but I wanted to say about down there with our people, all up in that area. That's how you know we're Israelites. There are people, according to prophecy, man. Because all up and down in the area with the Colombians, the Uruguayans, right? The Argentinians, the Chileans, right? In the area with the so-called Mexicans, the Panamanians and stuff. There's a lot of riches and resources around this area where our people are, man. Right? And it's got the biggest iron reserve in Brazil and Venezuela, biggest oil productions in Latin America, man. Right? And one of them is in Argentina. The other one, second one is in Brazil. Another one's in Colombia. And the fourth one's in Mexico. And the fifth one is in Venezuela, man. So everywhere Jacob is around, man, Jake make money, man. Right? We make money. You know, we're rich people, man. We're wealthy people. But we're in captivity, we have no demands. I brought it up about Judah trying to build and we can't build because curses, man. Right? It's on all us Israelites, man. Ain't none of us gonna be able to run from it. Right? Even with Naphtali, Asher, right? Everybody, man. Right? And that's why I'm bringing this out, man. Because we got money all around us, man. But guess what? We're in captivity. It ain't our money, man. It's just production for the heathen. Right? As being homeborn slaves, as I brought out. Right? Con. All right, Con. Hey, I'm coming up on the last little stretch. That's beautiful. I knew it was gonna be over an hour and something. You know, but hey. Hey, Shalom King y'all about Shemal Shah, about Shemal Kakadash, Brakatah, Shemal Thumb, brother. The water for tuning in. You know? All right, so it says, all right, let's go back to let's get that blessing for Joseph, man. All right, then I'm gonna go back to Genesis 49:25. Let's get that blessing for Joseph. It says, and of Joseph he said, blessed of the Lord Yahweh be his land, for the precious things of heaven, for the dew, and for the deep that coucheth beneath, and for the precious fruits brought forth by the sun, and for the precious things put forth by the moon, and for the chief things of the ancient mountains, and for the precious things of the lasting hills, and for the precious things of the earth and fullness thereof, and for the goodwill of him that dwelt in the bush, let the blessing come upon the head of Joseph, upon the top of the head of him that was separated from his brethren. Right? Let his glory is like the firstling of his bullock, and his horns are like the horns of unicorns. With them he shall push the people together to the ends of the earth, and they are the 10,000s of Ephraim, and they are the thousands of Manasseh. Right? So let's go. We can jump over to Genesis 48 if I'm not mistaken as well. All right, so kind of see what notes I got on there. All right, so basically Joseph is Ephraim, right? Ephraim, the so-called Puerto Ricans, man, the so-called Puerto Ricans, Ephraimites, right? It's going to be the head of the Northern Kingdom, right? For better words. And if I'm not mistaken, as the blood brother was saying, you can also read that in, I want to say, First Kings, that Jeroboam was an Ephraimite. I think he dwelt in the Mount of Ephraim, if I'm not mistaken. So you know, that's in First Kings, if I'm not mistaken. I have to go back to make sure. All right, but let's get a precept. As I was saying, Genesis 48. And let's start at verse 1. And it came to pass after these things that one told Joseph, behold, thy father is sick, and he took with him his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. So the so-called Puerto Rican, so-called Cubans, man. Manasseh are the so-called Cubans, and Ephraim are the so-called Puerto Ricans, right? And they're being the sons of Joseph, right? And one told Jacob and said, behold, thy son Joseph cometh unto thee, and Israel strengthened himself and sat upon the bed. And Jacob said unto Joseph, Power Almighty, the Halashadiah, appeared unto me at Luz in the land of Canaan, and blessed me, and said unto me, behold, I will make thee fruitful and multiply thee, and I will make of thee a multitude of people, and will give this land to thy seed after thee for an everlasting possession. Right? And now thy two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, which were born unto thee in the land of Egypt, before I came unto thee unto Egypt, are mine, as Reuben and Simeon. They shall be mine. They shall be mine. And thy issue, which thou begettest after them, shall be thine, and shall be called after the name of thy brethren in their inheritance. Right? So basically, Ephraim and Manasseh are one. Right? But basically, they are Joseph. For better words, Joseph is Ephraim. For better words, if you understand that, right? And I'm gonna get into that too, as well. That Ephraim is the head, just like Judah was the head of the southern, but Ephraim is the head. Ephraim brings sticks of Joseph together. Ephraim combined with the southern kingdom, right? Because I'm gonna get that Ezekiel 37, right? Let me keep going. On verse 7, as for me, when I came from Padan, Rachel died by me in the land of Canaan in the way, when yet there was but a little way to come to Ephraim, and I buried her there in the way of Ephraim. The same is Bethlehem. Bethlehem. And Israel, behold, Joseph's sons, and said, who are these? And Joseph said unto his father, they are my sons whom power have given me in this place. And he said, bring them, I pray thee, unto me, and I will bless them. Now the eyes of Israel were dim for age, so that he could not see. He brought them near unto him, and he kissed them and embraced them. And Israel said unto Joseph, I had not thought to see thy face, and lo, Yahweh have showed me also thy seed. And Joseph brought them out from between his knees, and he bowed himself with his face to the earth. And Joseph took both them, right, them both, Ephraim in the right hand towards Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand towards Israel's right hand, and brought them near to him. Right, so this how they Manasseh and Ephraim were about to get their blessing, right? And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger one. So Ephraim was younger than Manasseh, right? So you know how things go. Like the oldest always get it. The oldest son's supposed to get the, like when it comes to a throne, the oldest son in line is the next to the throne. Then if he don't have any sons, if I'm not mistaken, it goes to the brother. The brother get the throne. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's how it go. I have to do more research on that as well. But through the patriarch, if I'm not mistaken. All right. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand towards Israel's left hand, and his right hand towards Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand towards Israel's right hand, and brought them near to him. And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hands willingly. For Manasseh was the firstborn. And he blessed Joseph and said, on Yahweh, power before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac did walk, the power which fed me all my life long unto this day. The angel which redeemed me, right? The angel which redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads, and let my name be named on them, in the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth. And if I'm not mistaken, Ephraim and Manasseh, they had a large piece of land in the scriptures, right? And when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand upon his head of Ephraim and displeased him, it displeased him. He held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head unto Manasseh's head. And Joseph said unto his father, not so, my father, but this is the firstborn. Put thy right hand upon his head. And his father refused and said, I know it, my son. I know it. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly his younger brother shall be greater than he. So that's why Ephraim is the head, man, because he was going to be greater than his brother Manasseh, his big brother Manasseh, right? But truly his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his seed shall become a multitude of nations. And Ephraim, they fruitful, man. They're real fruitful. And he blessed them that day, saying, indeed shall Israel bless, saying, power maketh thee as Ephraim and as Manasseh. And he said Ephraim before Manasseh. So come. All right. All right, let's get Ezekiel 37. Ezekiel 37, let's get verse 15. The word of the Lord came unto me, saying, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah, southern kingdom, and for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions. So one stick, we're one people, man. We're all brothers and sisters, man, right? And join them one to another into one stick, one nation, one house, and they shall become one in thy hand. All right. Right, let's keep going. Verse 18, and when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these? Say unto them, thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, because Ephraim got the blessing, got the greater blessing, right? And the tribes to be the head for the northern kingdom, and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in my hand. So we want people in the hand of the Lord. How about Shemal Shah, man? Right? Beautiful. So let me get, let's go to Genesis 48. Which I already brought out that. Yeah, Khan, I already brought out Genesis 48. So Khan, I don't need to get that. That's beautiful. Let's get Joshua 16 and 4. Lord willing, this is edifying because I'm going from my last precepts. Lord willing, this is a very edifying street teaching. You know, hope you brothers out there wrote down some precepts. And again, it took me a whole week to even It was just so, man, heavy. All right, Joshua 16:4. So the children of Joseph, Manasseh and Ephraim, took their inheritance. And the border of the children of Ephraim, according to their families, was thus. Even the border of their inheritance on the east side was Ataroth Adar unto Beth Horon, the upper. And the border went out toward the sea to Metha on the north side, and the border went out about eastward unto Tanath Shiloh, and passed by it on the east of Janoah, and went down from Janoah to Ataroth, and to Naaroth, and came to Jericho, and went out at Jordan. So this is getting into, you read Genesis 16, it's like Joshua 16, it just talk about the borderland of the tribe of Ephraim, man. And then it's Joshua 17 gets to the land for the tribe of Manasseh, man. That's for edification. Say that's those chapters you should be able to read for that, right? Lord willing, right? So let's get Numbers 26. You know, number 26 and 28. The sons of Joseph after their families were Manasseh and Ephraim. Right, then it gets to the sons of Manasseh, Machir, the family of the Machirites. The Machir begot Gilead, and of Gilead come the family of the Gileadites. The Gileadites. It's like him. All right, so Khan. All right. And we better get into Benjamin, right? Benjamin, right? This is Genesis 49:27. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey. In the night he shall divide the spoil. All right, and what our God really don't have anything. All right, and if you get into the area where Benjamin was, it goes hand in hand. The West Indies, the Benjamites, so-called West Indies, it goes hand in hand. Where Levi, Simeon, right? It's where they was, right? In the Hispanolas, man. Right? So a lot of our people were already intertwined after the slave trade anyway. A lot of our people from Southern North King was already intermingled up, man. Right? Just for privacy's sake. For edification, so you know. Verse 28. All these are the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is it that their father spake unto them, and blessed them, everyone according to his blessing, he blessed them. And he charged them and said unto them, I am to be gathered unto my people, bury me with my fathers in the cave that is in the field of Ephron the Hittite. So, hey, man, Jacob got buried in the land of Canaan, in Africa, right? In the cave that is in the field of Machpelah, which is before Mamre, in the land of Canaan, which Abraham bought with the field of Ephron the Hittite for possession of a burying place, so a burial place, man. There they buried Abraham and Sarah his wife. There they buried Isaac and Rebekah his wife, and there I buried Leah, and that's why they're gonna bury Jacob, man. And purchase of the field and of the cave that is therein was from the children of Heth. And when Jacob had made an end of commanding his sons, he gathered up his feet unto the bed and yielded up the ghost and was gathered unto his people, man. Right? Right. So another word for raven for Benjamin, because Benjamin was a wolf, as I wanted to bring up for edification's sake, is a violent seizure of prey or property, plunder, pillage. It's archaic, it's a noun, origin Latin, man. Right? So it's pillage. And you think about it, Benjamin got pillaged by Esau Edom, man. As part of prophecy. Benjamin got pillaged. We all got pillaged, man. We all got rabid, right? Like a wolf that came to kill the sheep of the Lord, man. Right? But it says Benjamin the wolf, right? But I just wanted to bring out that word for rabid, right? For better words. And a lot of Benjamites they dwell. A lot of the Benjamites, so-called West Indies, or the so-called West Indies, dwell within the Caribbeans, man. And I just wanted to say that. And you got Cubans, Dominicans, Haitians, and Jamaicans that dwell within there as well. So that's how you know we are the children of Israel, man. We dwell amongst each other, man. we in captivity together, man. And so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, man, the speckled birds out there are our people, man. Spirit bear witness, man. Right? We are one nation under the Lord Yahweh Shem Shah, man. So, hey, Lord willing, man, and to the best of my ability, I edify to brothers and sisters out there. You know, to Guadi Yahweh Shem Shah for let me be able to come out and street teach because I ain't been able to have time to. So, you know, hey, with that, I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shah, Bashem, Harakako Dash. All praises to the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God, in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the elder apostle, elder bishop, the great millstone, still well. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel this day. Shalom to the Akim out there in the house of always pushing the work of true sincerity. Shalom to the very few sisters, the Aqua who subscribe to the truth. And shalom to the speckled bird, which are Israelite foreigners who made like the nations are scattered into. Shalom, shalom. Wa Baba Ball. Call Halam La, Alahana, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shah, Bashem, Harakakodash, Babak Shah, Babak Shah, Babak Shah, Wa Baba Ball. Till next time, Israel. Shalom. Throw out for tuning in. Throw out for the precepts. Shalom.